So what I'm trying to ask you guys is, there is a course link on your button, right? Which says join the previous link. There is a link over there, right? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to rename this to Zoom link. You guys should be able to see the Zoom link. I hope you can. Can you see? No. Where? Okay, I got it. In the course, inside the course, in the course, there is the, all right, I get your point. Okay. So sorry for the first day. Okay. Goof up or a mess up had to happen on the first day. I understand that. It's how it's how it's supposed to be. That's obviously there. Okay, can you see now? Can you please check? Do we need to join the previous link? Yeah, try to join both the links if you can. It's locked. No, now it should be unlocked. Can you please check? Yeah, it should be unlocked now. It should be at the top. A very good thing is I am having a super massive gaming laptop with NVIDIA GTX 42. I'm not sure what this one is. It's a 16 GB NVIDIA graphics card and i7. So I'm able to go live on multiple screens. Now, please tell me, is anyone able to join the Zoom link? Okay, I see 38, 39, 40, 50. Okay, that's good. I need to do a quick. Are you guys able to join? Where is the link? Okay, someone is asking. The link is on the first. It says the data science bootcamp, right? When you join in, right? And over there, and probably the first one after day one introduction, the first one would be a Zoom link. I hope some of you can see, because I am able to see many people have joined in. Okay, allowed to talk. Yes, please. Rushikesh, please. You were asking. Go ahead, Rushikesh. You can talk now. In the Zoom one.
Yep, but it's not visible.
What is not visible?
Have you shared the screen, sir?
Oh,
Actually,
no,
it's
not yet.
totally blackout.
I'm so sorry. I did not share screen. Let me share screen now. सारे goof ups आज के दिन नहीं होने थे. Yeah. Engineering life में goof ups नहीं हो तो मजा कहाँ आएगा? Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So my team is over here and they're जितनी उनको पता है डांट पड़ने वाली है, but जितनी ज़्यादा डांट पढ़नी चाहिए उतनी नहीं पड़ेगी, because I am actually quite happy that all of you have joined. Apologies from my side. Okay, I am ready to share one final thing. Yes, okay. Wait, how do I allow to talk everyone? Just raise your hands, guys. It's lower all attendees' hands. Oh, sorry. Allowed to talk, allowed to talk, allowed to talk. I'm going to see at multiple places. Everyone, please unmute yourself. I am going to basically do allowed to talk to every single one. All right. Okay, I am ready to share.
Sir, could you Open that chat inbox because a host has disabled this. Maybe people are trying to put the message when you asking the questions like yes or no, but they are not able to
I
do
get it.
that.
I get that. I get that. I get that. दोनों पे sound आ रही है. Yeah. Try to mute one, Tarun Kumar. I know दोनों पे sound आ रही है. I understand that. Try to mute one. Yeah, go ahead, Devashi, Sonian, Nirmal Jha. All right, guys, we are here. Let me know if you can see my screen now. I am sharing my screen. Can you see my screen, guys? Ask to unmute. Nirmala,
Yes.
you have your hand raised. Is there a question? Screen not visible. Is the screen visible now, guys?
Yes.
Is the screen visible to everyone? I hope it is. So I have put
So
up.
I have put up.
Yeah, please do mute yourselves, guys. It's quite important over here. Apologies again for the last minute goof ups. It's bound to happen, obviously. Now, over here, what you see is basically the entire. We are here. We're supposed to finish this crash course today, so I'm just going to just deep dive in. Basically, what is Python is. Mm, okay, I've already wasted 10-15 minutes. I'm just going to deep dive in right there. But before I do, can you see all the four tabs? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 possibly. Can you see all the 4, 5 tabs, guys?
Yep.
Within. All right. That is great. Amazing. And this new screen, what I'm sharing right now.
Yep. Comparison operators.
Okay, comparison. Okay, maybe I was showing you something else. Okay, not comparison operator. Okay, not the now I'm coming over to here. Now have a look at this one for a minute over here, guys. If there is a separate section that we are starting, the complete Python 3 bootcamp, 0 to 100, not data science included over here. Everything in this folder, I hope can you read, guys? Python object data structures, Python comparison operators, Python statements. Now, this is 00, right? Within that, I have a number of additional Jupyter notebooks. Can one of you maybe see? Can you see this one? Number, variable assignments. Can you see this sheet?
Yes.
All right, all right. So even if I go within this sheet, right, I'm just trying to give you a sense कि actual में curriculum, how big is the curriculum and कितना कुछ है if I were to really go deep, or if you yourself were to say, yes, today I'm ready for, I don't know, just Python and I'm ready for interviews within this 1 hour. Okay, it's 8:15, 6:15 now. Not to worry. I'll be here with you no matter how long it takes. But all I'm trying to tell you, in 1 hour or even in 1.5 hours, taking care, completing all of these sections, just the 00 class is practically not possible. As I said, this is just to give you a flavor. So we are here in a Python crash course. So basically, we have data types, comparison operators, if else, loops, range, list comprehension. This is very, very important. function, everything is important. Then we have functions, guys. Even when you become a data scientist, right? You must have heard writing machine learning algorithms is just maybe 2, 3, or 4 lines. That is not true. You might have heard this. Raised hand. Okay, someone has raised hand. I'm sorry, you're asking for what? Question and answer. Screen not visible. I hope the screen is visible over here. Okay, sorry, allowed to talk. Got it. Not able to click allow to talk to each and everyone. So if anyone wants to talk, please raise their hand. I'll do it immediately for them. Multiple goof ups on the first day, but okay, chalta hai. Now, coming to this, so there are basic data types in Python in the School of Data Science. And the way why I'm interested, or rather, if this is the first software language that you have chosen to work with, Python is the absolute best. Some people might argue that R is the best, R programming language. That is still good. No offenses over R. I know R and Python both, but towards an industry side, right? Python is more acceptable because you can connect it with front end, with back end. And when I say front end, I mean with websites, with app developments, with back end, doing, really strong hardcore data engineering that you are genuinely able to do something with Java or with C++, or the latest languages that, Scala, or even the latest one for, especially for data engineering, Go languages, even with data science. Julia is an up and coming language which is pretty much built and made a user friendly way, just like Python. So if Python is your first programming language, absolutely congratulations to you. It's very easy. It's pretty straightforward. The basic data types that you need to remember are integer, float. Integer is basically 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 without decimal points. It can be positive or negative. Float is basically with decimal points. 2.3264, whatever. String is basically general or general category or string, which basically means anything within a double quotes. I can have a number also as a data type called string. My name, Avinash, is a string data type. Then we have printing options, we have lists and dictionaries. After this exercise, after today, there are multiple choice questions. Please go through them. Please answer them properly, because you will have only one chance to basically pass them. So try to, see as much as possible that you try to, get the right answer. That would be really best. Now, comparison operators, if loops, else loops, for loops. List comprehension, as I mentioned, is very important. Functions, you should write your own functions. Now let's go through them one by one. If there is anything in between, I hope the chat option is enabled. Hope everyone can chat and is enabled for all. All right, I'm going to lower every. Okay, someone has raised their hand. Tarun Chandra, allowed to talk? Yes, you are. If anyone else wants to, talk, please raise your hand. And I'm going to lower everyone's hand right now. All right, please.
Yeah, anything on chat.
What, Tarun?
Chat is not open for everyone.
Chat is
Is
not
it?
open. Tarun, देखते हैं थोड़ा सा आगे पीछे हो रहा है. If you have any doubt, please unmute yourself and ask. No problem. All right. So basically, these are numbers in basically Python. So I hope everyone has installed a version of Python in your system. It can be a simple idle Python. It can be Anaconda or Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is the best initially to start with, because this is called a cell, a single cell. You can just run this by hitting Shift plus Enter and run ho jayega. Or if I were to do 55 plus, I don't know, 44 or 444, you'll get the answer. Not just that, numbers, any kind of calculator operations that you do, divided by, multiplied by, and finally minus, you will get the answer. And the beauty of this is it can handle both integer and float types. This is pretty straightforward. Khud karke dekh lena. Now, this particular part is important. This, what is this basically? Is it 9 into 2? No, it's 9 into 9. This basically means a square operator or a square function. Basically, 2 ka square kya hai? 4. Let's do 4 ka square. 4 into 4 basically is 16. This is what the square operator means. This percentage, what do you mean by the percentage sign over here? 4% 3. Okay, let me give a better example. 10% 3, 1. This is basically getting you the remainder. 3 into 3, 9. The remainder is 1. Same way goes here. Now, I hope all of you are IITians, or even if not, everyone has passed 10 standards, so everyone is aware of the PED-MAS rule, or some people might call it you might call it BODMAS rule. We used to call it PEDMAS rule. So PEDMAS rule basically says parenthesis, exponential, division, multiplication, addition, as simple as that. So I'm going to just put this in Markdown. Coming down to variable assignments, you can assign any kind of number, string, anything to a variable or an object. Basically, example, if login, please, this can go for any programming language. Anything on the left-hand side, this is user-defined. Anything on the right-hand side is the value that you are going to give from maybe a table, right? Imagine you have a number of login IDs and number of passwords, right? Or imagine you have a number of user IDs and their respective cities. So what you would need is basically you need to assign them to some sort of proper naming structure is quite important. So over here, I'm going to do login and password. And when I say basically, when I use a print statement, hello world, this is my login ID. This is going to print as it is. Instead of that, if I put in password over here, no matter what I've made my password as, the password is going to be printed over here. This also, there is a way in print statements that you can give additional, I mean, मेरे को password ये line में नहीं चाहिए, मेरे को अगली line में चाहिए. So I can give /t within the print statement. It'll give a tab, or I can use /n for new line, so on and so forth. Again, very easy and very important, as I said about, variable assignments. Z equals x plus y. If you simply want to understand what is happening over here, so what you will do is basically assign some value to x, maybe 333. Y is I don't know, 123. And now if you want to do z equals x plus y, and niche, if I write the statement print z, print the value of z, here you go. Agar wo bhi niche, you can just put it z, it will execute. Now, what is the difference between print z and z? Anyone? Quickly unmute yourself and quickly tell me. And why or where will I use this print z? It's pretty easy. Anyone? Okay, basically, I'll just give you the answer. Print z is basically is very much important. It will print the statement when you execute the entire Python script, and z will basically execute it then and there when you want to test. Just show of hands. Can you just write one word? B for beginner, or if you have some sort of Python expertise right now, you can write P for Python in the chat window or any of the chat window, B or Z. I hope the previous chat window is still open. Okay. I see some Parth and Ankit, they have mentioned P and Bs. Okay. Absolute beginners. All right. Yes, Jaskaran, I have given you permission to talk as well. All right. Okay. All right. Some of you have some sort of Python experience, most of you are beginners. All right. So if I'm going a bit fast or if I'm going a bit slow, please raise your hand. Or if you're already allowed to talk, please go ahead and talk. Just a basic understanding. Okay, I'll come to the print statements later on. We are just in the very initial basic steps. You will understand what is going on. Okay. Okay, right. Okay, amazing. I can see answers over here as well. Okay, great guys. Thank you so much. Now, coming back to strings, there are two ways you can write strings in Python, a single quote and a double quote. Both are essentially the same. There is not too much logic in between. Yeah, but sometimes what happens is you might have to use a single quote or a double quote while writing a code or a program or a function. So basically just understand if you want a string to start and end at a particular place, use double quotes or single quotes in the same way. If you need to, why don't we go to this example? Single quotes, double quotes, or let's use the password assignment again over here, right? Imagine I'm not talking about login, I'm talking about city, or rather I'm talking about location. Okay. And location, I want to write maybe Mumbai. Where are you guys? Powai, I guess. So let me give Powai IIT, and I want to give I don't know, Powai isn't in Delhi. Now what is going to happen is this is going to mess up my string assignment over here. Because I've given some single quote over here. So what basically Python understands is my string started here and it ended over here. I'll do one thing. Let me just zoom. Is this better? I've zoomed in. Everything after that can be like, for example, in is a keyword within Python. So that's why you see there is a different color over here. So if you have to use a single quote, basically all you do is you start the journey with a double quote and end your journey or end the statement with a double quote again. Now everything is absolutely fine. Now when I print location, have a look at this. Hello world, this is my login ID. Obviously I have to give proper quotations or proper understanding or proper print statements. So Powai isn't in Delhi, or rather in the print statement I can write where is IIT Bombay located. Powai isn't in Delhi. I know, stupid question, stupid answer, or good question and bad answer. So you can just maybe write it this way: Powai, Mumbai, and there you go. Where is IIT Bombay located? It's located in the answer. Okay, I've given the answer already. Now, a funny thing in print statement is what you can do is if I've given something like this, I can also add concatenations by using a plus or with a comma within it, and I can write the answer. The answer ANSWE. The answer is colon. Yeah. Basic understanding, basic print statements. Now let me go forward. This is not the most important thing. We'll come back to this. I mean, it's basically over. Printing. I've just showed you printing. Okay, I'm going back and forth. So I'm just going to print hello as the way, as I said, number, name. Now, when I print the next line, just understand this line before going into this example, just giving you an understanding of assignment. What I'm trying to tell you here is, remember the previous example, X, Y, and the value of Z. The value of Z is still stored inside. Right now, Python is running on a kernel. I'm just going to move this. The kernel is still active over here. So when I run Z from the previous exercise on the same notebook, I'll still get the value of Z. I will also get the value of X and the value of Y. Now you're going to ask me the value of X plus Y is what the value of Z was, right? But no, what has happened is when I ran this particular cell, the value of X became hello, but the value of Y remains as it is, and the value of Z remains as it was previously. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is the way Python works is quite very simple. Imagine there are maybe, I'm just going to randomly pick 2-3 names over here. And if I assign a value to each one of you, you are going to remember that value unless and until that value has been changed or not. As simple as that. Now coming down, these are some good way of writing print statements using format functions. I will share this list with you. You can move forward. That is not a problem. Let's move on to lists. Basically, as I said, what does Python have? We have covered data types, strings, printing. Now, this is where things become a little interesting, which is lists and dictionaries. List is basically a collection of integers, strings, numbers. It's basically a collection. And list starts with a square bracket and ends with a square bracket. As simple as that. Imagine I have, I'm going to open an Excel file and show you a simple example or a simple database. I know I'm supposed to keep this for the later part, but I thought, why not just open it right now? Let me show you the example here, and then I'll go back over there. Right now, over here, I have as I said, a list is a collection of numbers. A list basically, I can have 1, 2, 3, 4. I can also have names and numbers. For example, IIT, School of Data Science. I can have my name. I can have random name maybe. And if I'm going to just execute this, nothing is going to happen. It is going to execute the whole thing again over. What I need to do is I need to assign it to a user defined variable. A user defined variable can be as simple as, I don't know, df, as simple as that. So when I do that, and next time when I just type in df, this is going to be the value of df. And within df, if I need to select any one item within a list, now I understand if I'm just talking about lists or functions, you're going to ask me how, where, what exactly is this use, or where is the use case going to be. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to open up. Let me know if you can see my screen. I'm opening an Excel file basically. I need to reshare this screen. All right. Let me, yeah. Can you see the Excel file, guys? Okay. I hope everyone can see the Excel file. That's good for me. No, some people have mentioned in the chat. Please tell me if you can see the Excel file. Please move this window away from the shared applications. All right. Yes. All right. Thank you so much. Now, we were just talking about lists over here, right? I'm just going to copy that code. This is what I'd written, basically. Now, a list can contain numbers, letters, function, as long as it is within square brackets. If it is numbers, you can just write 1, 2, 3. But if it is string, you need to give it with a quotation mark, start and end. So basically what is going to happen is, if it is a string, it is going to identify, okay, this is one object or one character, basically. This is the second object. This is the third object. This is the fourth object. And please look that I have a blank space also. And that really doesn't matter if you have put it within quotation marks over here. Now, why did I come to Excel immediately? Because unless, as I am going to stress this point over and over again, unless I show you practical application, because the way when I started learning data science, the sheet what you saw or the Jupyter notebook what you saw, any instructor or faculty, he would continue on maybe 10, 20 notebooks and then come to this Excel file where there is some sort of any kind of POC data. I wanted you to understand this immediately right now. So if this is the data, right, all I've done is right now I've pressed Control-Shift-Enter, which basically gives me the filters over here. It's quite basic Excel. These are my headers over here, right? Everyone is aware what headers means. So I'm not going to deep dive into this. Now, basically, when I say a list can contain an element or object, what I mean to say is, let's find some categorical. There is no categorical, no problem. Number of bedrooms or area population or price, or let's come to this point, average income population. Now, within average income, this can be my, for example, DF, and all the rows or all the values within this column can be a part of my list. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you, if I were to read this Excel file or maybe this much data, the way I'm going to use this table as a data frame, for example, if this table's name, for now, example, the name of the table is DF. And if I have to select the second column, all I can do is I can select it in something like this. Within the list, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mention maybe first, second, third, the third object or the third column. And if I press enter, it is going to display all the values within the third column. Now, before I go further, and before some of you who already know Python, you're going to say, if I've selected 3, it is not going to show me the third column. It is going to show me the fourth column. Maybe let me explain how and why. Let me first come back to my Jupyter notebook. All right, over here. So what I'm trying to tell you is Python, especially in lists or maybe especially in counting, Python doesn't start with 1. It starts with 0. What I'm trying to tell you is, if I have to select the object IIT, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is the 5th object. But if I do 5 and if I run this cell, it is showing me the 5th object. 6th object, sorry, because Python starts with 0. So if I type, for example, if I type 0, and to avoid confusion, it's going to show me the first object. Similarly, if I have to select IIT, which is the 5th object, 5, I have to select 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to make it in that sense. I hope this makes sense. It's pretty straightforward. If this doesn't make sense, please tell me right now. Yeah, okay, pretty straightforward. Let's move forward. What I also wanted to mention to you is this important point is a list can have a list, something like inception, a dream within a dream. So I can have a list. By the way, a list starts and ends after a square bracket, right? I can make another square bracket and end the original bracket, or within this list, I can have, I don't know, I can have another square bracket with the same and a comma. And this would still work. So this is my first giant list. This is my second, and this is the internal part, second, third. Now, coming back to the other points. Now, the same thing what I've mentioned, there are keywords or functions within Python. Append, basically what append does is it adds an item within your list. For example, if my list, I've just run this cell. If my list is your function, then ABC, and if I click append 1, 2, 3, or not just 1, 2, 3, let's do append 99, so that it makes sense. Now, if I run my list, it has appended 999. Now, the funny thing is, if I run this again, it has appended again. Or if I were to give a new name, maybe Thanos, and it has appended Thanos again. Or if I run this particular cell, can you see the cell number? It is 58, 59. So we had run 29, 28, and we had directly come to 58, 59 because I've run these cells multiple number of times. I'm going to run this again. This is 60. And I'm going to run my list again. And that is how it happens. Append, it keeps appending. That's the way I wanted to mention you. Now, moving forward from the append, now let's do something important, list selection. Basically, what I'm trying to ask you, do unmute yourself and quickly and tell me, this is right now my list. All right, new 1, 2, 3, 44, 999, A2. Suppose if I have to select the last item in a list, I've already told you, right? How do you select? 0 is new, 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4 is 44. So is there a way that you think I can select an easy way to get the last item in a list? Can anyone tell me?
Double bracket 0.
Amazing, man.
-1.
Double bracket 0. This is the list right now. Guys, please tell me if things are becoming a bit boring or things are still interesting. Yeah, I think someone told me -1. That is the right answer. If you have to select the last one. Now, जिसने भी मुझे बोला -1, can you now tell me how do I select A?
-1 and another 0, like basically another a box, not much on the right of the -1. Yeah, a box or whatever we call it.
Okay, this
0.
is called a list. Absolutely correct. That is right. Okay, so quickly, a question to the same person. By the way, this is going to be an interview question, what I'm going to ask you now. Reverse the items in a list. Okay, someone has raised their hand. I'm just going to allow talk. This is a straightforward interview question to anyone who has learned Python. Now, the people who have texted P as in Python, this is a question to you guys especially. Please tell me. Reverse the items in a list. This is list, my list. मेरे को अब इसमें चाहिए, like this is the last element. So last element, then 999, then 44, then 3, then 2, then 1. So the last item should be new. Please tell me, how do I reverse the items in a list? Someone has raised hands. Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to lower all your hands. Everyone is allowed to talk. Anyone? Okay, give me an answer. Loops use करके या बिना loop use करके. Use loops, don't use loops. Please tell me how do you reverse? I hope everyone got the question right.
everyone got the question right.
Okay, with the loops,
Okay,
like
with the loops, like
we can create another list, like maybe a new equal to empty list, and while by running the for loop for I in uh, like 0 comma length of my list, 0 comma yeah, I in
Half you got it. What about the remaining? You got it right. ये
okay,
list है.
yeah,
इसको reverse करना है.
so
Guys,
uh,
this is an
guys,
interview
this is
question. Okay.
We can do for instead of I we can use 5 minus like 6 minus I, like start from the reverse order.
What can I do? 6 minus I.
6 minus I.
Yeah, so the like total 1 second 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 total
Okay.
7. No, yeah, we can do 6 minus I.
Do you mean length
Do
of
you
I?
mean length of I?
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't get your name.
I didn't get your
Dheeraj?
name.
Dheeraj.
Dheeraj?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dheeraj, I'm going to give
Dheeraj, I'm going to give
10 seconds more for
10
anyone who
seconds more
wishes
for
to
anyone
answer.
who wishes to answer.
Okay, someone has raised their hand.
Someone has raised their
Shreya
hand.
Gupta or
Shreya
Shri
Gupta.
Gupta. Shri Gupta, sorry.
Uh,
My
so we
Shri
can do
Gupta.
like, hello,
Go ahead.
can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, you can can do square brackets and forget the list, only the list. Write the square bracket, colon colon -1.
Amazing. Amazing, Shri. Now, please explain what is happening before I run this. मैंने ये run नहीं किया, by the way. Please explain. So this is the correct solution. Please explain ये क्या है exactly. I'm going to write your solution over here. This is the correct answer. What is happening?
Like I'm just slicing the list and like the
नहीं
first.
नहीं नहीं. Don't use technical words. Plain language में समझाओ हो क्या रहा है. What is happening?
मतलब like your last number है that is used to skip the number of terms I'm getting. Like slicing में I can like I know Python, I know I can say in
I
like,
don't know Python. मुझे समझाओ हुआ क्या. ये for loop, if loop तो मुझे समझ आ रहा है because this is Hindi. I'm sorry, I shouldn't speak only in Hindi. I speak Tamil also and English. So I'll continue to talk in English. Please go ahead. I understand for loop, for I list a little bit. What is happening over here? How did this happen? I do understand this. I understand maybe fourth item. Okay, maybe I'll not do here. I'll create a new object over here. I need you to explain to me in a non-technical way. If I do -1, this also I understood. Okay, -1 means I'm taking the last item in the list. So by that statement, if I do -2, it should ideally select triple or 4 times 9, correct? And it does. It does. What is going on here? How did it reverse the list completely with just two semicolon colon? What happened here? How did this happen?
okay, so whenever we write square bracket 0, so it's like the 0th element. So
Okay.
if we write 0 colon 1, so or 0 colon 2, so we'll take elements 0 and 1 from the list and print that.
Yes. Thank you for the answer. So basically, sorry if I pulled you out into the spotlight. I sometimes do that. So basically, if I write 0, as Shrey mentioned, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And if I do, the purpose of colon over here, guys, is everything from the 0th element to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, not the 5th element. So basically this is my start point, colon, how many number of elements do I need, excluding the 5th point. So maybe I'll create a fresh list with alphabets for you to avoid confusion. So I'm going to do A, B, C, D. Let's do only 4. This makes sense. So if I want A, B, C, so this is 0, 1, 2. If I type 0 to 2, I'm going to get only the first 2 elements. Now what happened over here? What happens over here if I just type -1? It gives me the last item. But what happens here if I do colon -1? It gives me all the elements in a list except -1. Again, if I do a double colon, it is going to give me everything in a reversed order. I hope that made sense.
Could you please repeat?
Okay, sure. What happens if I do just double colon? Nothing. It is going to give me list. So basically in list, there is a function in Python. The other people who know a little bit of Python, they will understand there's something called location and iloc. I'll come to that later on. So the rules of a list or within a data frame, the rules of basically a colon are start point and end point. But when you have a table, this generally means, and if I use a comma, I know I'm going a little bit forward and backward. मैं थोड़ा सा advanced Python and I'm coming back to the basics. I understand I'm doing this, but this is important for you to understand. This everything over here signifies either items in a list or rows. There are rows and columns in a table, right? So everything before the comma, suppose I'm giving, this is only for your understanding, okay? Don't think this is some sort of command. All these are rows, by the way. Start of a row, end of a row, and all these are columns. The first column and the last column. And this comma is very important. So basically, coming back to my original question ka solution, when you give a double colon, all the rows and all the columns, and when you do -1, it essentially reverses all the items, and this works with a list only. If I were to give essay the start point, there is no start point right now. We are talking only about rows here, or maybe objects in a list. There is no rows and columns right now. It's a simple straightforward list, right? I mean, a list starts here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 items. It ends here. Rows and columns, there's no system over here. Okay, there are just 4, 5 objects in one list. So if I were to maybe okay, hold on. Maybe now you guys will understand what I mean. This you've got it very clearly, right? 0 to 3. This is plain simple. I can also write -3 to -1. So it is counting from the back. This is -1, this is -2, this is -3. Now you'll ask me, what if I do the opposite way, -1 to -3? It doesn't work that way, because the way list reads is 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, 0, 1, 2, and then 3. And if you write anything, the starting point of the list, here is the starting point you have given. Okay, I have to start from the reverse. Okay, -1. And if I give a colon, it'll understand, okay, from -1, you asked me one object, because beyond -1 there is nothing. Even if I give 2, 3, 4, nothing is going to come. This is my starting point, and now I have to go in the reverse order only. Now for that to happen, double colon signifies basically keep continuing in the reverse order endlessly. Any questions, guys? Are you fine? Or else I'll do one thing. I'll go forward. I'll give a proper explanation within a project, and then maybe I can come back and show you how it works. Fine so far? Okay, I think Jaskan also mentioned.
Okay, I think Justin also mentioned.
Go ahead, Dheeraj.
Go ahead, Dheeraj.
Yes.
All right, moving forward. Coming to something very, very interesting and important, dictionaries. Dictionaries, if anyone is aware of JSON data, by JSON, I mean JSON, JSON data. Have you guys worked with any kind of website?
With any kind of website, let me
Open any random uh, maybe Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. What is the is it gymkhana.iitbac? Yeah, this is the website. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So over here, if I do right click and if I see inspect or view page source, let me just do inspect element. You will see JSON data is over here. And the way to identify JSON data is anything, it will have something called as a key pair value. A key pair value, any kind of JSON data starts and ends with a flower bracket, basically. So the types of brackets you have are parentheses, square, and a flower bracket. So a JSON data, or else let me show a better website. This this website is absolutely used in any NLP, any natural language processing website. This is used by to create customized news, any kind of news generation. It's called News API. And what you see over here, everything is in the form of JSON data, or in Python, we call this as a dictionary. A dictionary always has two elements, a key pair value. Sorry, keys and values. Keys, and the second word is called as keys and its particular values, or here in this sense you can call it items. So here what I'm trying to tell you is everything before the colon is called the key. For example, source, ID, name, author, title, description, URL, all these are keys. And if you look even more closely, all these dictionary elements are within one list called as articles. And this articles keeps going forward and forward. So we will use this news API's data extensively. For example, there is top business headlines in US about TechCrunch, about in the last 6 months of Wall Street Journal. There is also news about any kind of publisher. If you want a detailed documentation of APIs and keys, what they look like, a very strong documentation is written. There is also pricing information, but obviously, as you can see, for developers, it's totally free. You can start immediately. What do they mean is every time when you call an API from this news article, about there will be an hour's delay, and there is 1 hour delay after you have maybe requested 500 or about 500 a month, not immediately, not right now. So basically it says 100 requests per day, and after that if you have surpassed 500 requests, then it will ask you to, and for every API request it's going to charge you a little bit of amount. So don't do that. Retain yourself to less than 100, and that should be absolutely fine. Okay, now coming back to dictionaries, where is dictionaries? Yeah. So over here, coming back to dictionaries, any doubt in between, guys, please let me know. I'm always here. Now I'm going to assign a simple dictionary over here. Key 1, the value 1, item 1, key 2, value 2, item 2. You know what? This is actually a bit boring. Ye nahi karte. Let's not do this. Let's take the actual, I mean, this is what I really hate and love when you use random data. It really doesn't make sense, but if you use real data, yes, then yeah, now we're talking. So I'm gonna just copy paste it over here. Let's say my key 1 is source, and let's call it Times of India. ID key 2, ID, let's call it uh, News API 1001. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Name, this is going to be my third key. And here is what I need you to understand. A key, colon, its value. So the key number 3 would be name, and the name would be, as we mentioned, source. Let's call it Times of India. Make sense, guys? Now, typically, you cannot use the previous example of, 0, 1, 2, 3 over here. Dictionaries don't work this way. And dictionaries, there is one more example, something like list. It is called tuples. I think I have not mentioned that. T-U-P-L-E-S, tuples. Okay, it is there. I think I must have missed it in between. No, it's still there. We are coming there. Not a problem. Okay. Now coming back to now this is my key 1. After comma, this is my key 2. After comma, this is my key 3. There should be an easier way to understand this, right? So I'm going to use this example for now. Author, title, description. And maybe use this as F, so that I can use this example again. Okay. Now, if I have to get all the keys, as I said, Python is very user friendly. So all I have to do is f.d.keys, and I get the keys, and I can do the same for our previous example. Dot. Instead of typing the whole thing, a shortcut for you guys, just press the tab key once, and everything, all the keywords, I mean, keys, clear, from, copies, items, these are all keywords. Basically, if you forget what keys spelling is, or if you forget basically Python programming a little bit here and there, everyone forgets, even I do. So we use this helpful feature to autocomplete. So if you press tab and hit enter, f.keys is not going to execute. You need to complete. You need to call this function. What is a function? We have not come there. I'll come there. So for f.keys, these are the keys, basically source, ID, and name. Now coming down, I'll just come back to keys value, why and how important it is, especially in saving passwords and everything. And just coming down to Boolean. Boolean is basically a comparative operator which gives you a value of either true or false. As simple as that. For example, right now, the value of X is hello, and the value of Y is 123. Let me rewrite the value of X as 12 and the value of Y as maybe 10. Now, is X not equal to Y? The way you do Boolean operator is, this is equal to exclamation mark, and this is not equal to, this is less than, this is greater than, this is less than or equal to, this is greater than or equal to, and the last one, this is not equal to. Hope you got it. EQUALS not equals. All right. So I'm just going to select all of this, and before executing this cell, I'm going to press Control / I'll just write it here. CTRL plus / What is this going to do is this is going to basically comment everything. In Python, if you need to comment anything, you just put an # previously. This is how comments work. X is not equal to Y, X is greater than Y, it's true. So on and so forth. Now we are coming to something interesting. It is called tuples. Before coming here, I'm going to come over here. Tuples is very similar to lists, but completely different. The same way you assign a list, right? Remember, square bracket. Here we use parenthesis, t equals 1, 2, 3. The value of, if I have to select the 0th element, I'm sorry, if I have to select the first element, I have to do t of 0. Here I got it. Now the major difference between a tuple and a list, again, this is an interview question, guys. List down the difference between a tuple and a list. And what is the use case? Would anyone care to answer? Anyone
Tuples
online?
tuple cannot be changed. We cannot change tuple values. Tuples are immutable.
Okay, that's a good question. Immutable. What do you mean by immutable? What immutable means? What?
Like we cannot change its value.
Okay, Shashank Joshi has a question. Are you being fair with beginners starting directly with my list and other advanced strings? Actually, Shashank, your question is absolutely valid. What I'll do over here, Shashank, is I'll host another session because because of the initial time lapses and everything. Maybe I think your question is fair. I've jumped a bit forward. I'll come back to the basics again. I know we have also crossed our timeline. I am happy to be here. I'll continue the session for till 7:30. I'll take you back from the initial points and lines. But again, Shashank, I just want to mention one thing. 1 hour is really not. It's I mean, your fellow friends, if they know even a little bit of Python, even for a Python crash course, 1 hour is completely not sufficient. I'm just trying to show you, think of this as a Python inspirer class, or it inspires. Yes, I can learn Python. It is not so difficult, but you know what? I'll keep your comments with a real fair understanding. You are absolutely right. If I were in this class and if someone was going fast, the only thing I would do from my power, within my power, is I'll tell them, go a bit slower. But you know what, Shashank, I'm going to tell you is end of the class, not today's class. End of the class on the 8th day, if you come back and tell me I understood jack shit, I understood nothing at all, please come forward and tell me that. I will take the whole thing from the start again. It really, I mean, for you guys to understand, or even if I'm able to inspire at least 70%, only then I would consider a win. Not 7%, okay? 70. That's my passing rate. Okay, so I'll just go back to Shrey or Dheeraj, whoever was talking, when he said what is tuple and what is mutable or immutable, and I'll come back to your question as well. So Shrey, you mentioned tuples are immutable, and list, if I have not answered, lists are mutable. What does mutable or immutable mean? Basically, mutable is lists and immutable is tuple. What is basically tuple or list? Okay, I am talking about various different words. Tuple means anything within a square bracket. Sorry, list, anything within a square bracket. Tuple, anything within a parenthesis. The important term or element which is used over here for tuple is immutable. Immutable basically means The value once assigned to a tuple cannot be changed. What I mean to say is, if I have assigned the value of tuple as 1, 2, 3, and if I say, okay, t of 0 is 1, let me change this value. The way I change this value is by giving a single equal to sign, and I give maybe a. It is going to throw an error to me. Basically, it is going to say tuple does not support item assignment. To explain this point further, I'm going to give a list and I am going to call it li with the same square bracket 1, 2, 3. And same thing I'm going to run over here. I'm just going to comment this. The way you comment is give a hash sign and li of, let's say, 0, that will be 1. And same thing I'm going to do over here is a. It has executed. Now if I type li again, the value becomes A23. Tuple becomes important when you're saving employee IDs, when you're saving passwords. In fact, when you're saving almost anything. Now, a key thing to understand or remember over here is if I give a single equal to sign, the way it works is any item on the left hand side is being assigned to the object or the item number in the object to the left hand side. It works from right to left. Even if I execute this, I mean, this doesn't work in Python, but this operation works in R. In Python, a single equal to sign only works. And I'm going to change this to AVINSH. And it works. But in tuple, it doesn't work. I hope you understood this much, guys. Okay. The live class on that one ended. I hope you guys are here still with me. Yeah. Okay, I can still see that. All right. Any doubts, guys? Am I going fast? Am I going slow? You can give shout out or answer or anything. Please let me know or give a thumbs up or like or anything. I'll continue. Now, sets, I'm just going to skip for now. I'll come back to this in a moment because I believe I can complete comparison operator because I think I just did. We'll come back to sets because I need to do comparison logical operator. This is more important than sets. So this is a list, basically. X equals a list. 1 is less than 2. Obviously, we know that to be true. Is 100 less than 2? No, it's a false. So that's how you get a false statement. The way you can also ask or write is A less than B? What do you think the answer is going to be here over here? Anyone online?
True.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you think the answer is going to be over here?
True.
True.
Should be.
Okay, let me run this. A is less than B. That is absolutely true. I'm just trying to show you the power of, Python. Or else if I do this A equals 5 and B equals 2. Now, what do you think is going to be the answer of this? True or false?
True.
Still true. Yes. Can you explain that? How, what? I mean, A is 5, B is 2. Let me type print A. Yeah, A is 5. For the people who don't understand Python, what happened? Why A is still less than B?
Uh, in single quotes A less than single quotes B, we are not using values of A. We are using strings A and B.
Perfect. Perfect. Absolutely correct. So this A, or rather, to give clarity, this is still true, by the way. If I put C less than B, this is false. Because A, B, C, and this is not your A. What I mean to say is, hold on. This is still true, but if I remove this quotes and I put in single A, B, now it is false. Hope all of you got what I meant over here. Do give a yes. Yes, it is string. Yes, absolutely. That's the right answer. All right. Coming down, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, the same thing what I've mentioned over here. Now, high in high, is this true? This is where we come to the crux of the comparison operators. For example, if we have a string, do we still have our earlier list from the previous one? I'm just scrolling up a bit fast. I understand that. My list. Yeah. Over here. Okay. Now we are here in my list. What do we have in my list? A, B, C, D. So what you can also do in comparative operators is you can ask is A, B, C, D, E present in my list, my underscore list. I have to give the exact name, by the way. And the answer is going to be false. No, E is not present. Is B present? Yes, it is present, true. So the same way is happening over here. Instead of giving the object where we assign the list, here I am assigning the list automatically, just to or rather I'll just give the name of my list again over here. So high, the character or the string operation high is not present in my list. Now, the same way logical operators we have seen as true or false, we can also give logical operator within parentheses by using the BODMAS rule or the PEDMAS rule as well. Basically, is 1 greater than 2 and 2 less than 3. Because the condition in between is and, both the conditions have to be satisfied. And that's why it's giving the condition as false. If instead of that, if I write instead of and, I can write an or. One of the condition is true. So there you go. In Python, you can also write and operation like this. And the or operation you can write with something called as a pipe. And that still works. Coming back to logical operators, if X is hello world high and is high double equal to X. Now, double equal to, we know previously what is double equal to means. It means, the double equal to sign is basically, it is equals, EQUALs, equals to. And not equals to is represented by this exclamation and not equal to. So if high is present or basically equals to X, print yes, else print no. And the answer we get is it's no, because Python is case sensitive. So instead of HI, capital HI, if I do small HI, then it'll print. Okay, it's still printing. Okay, sorry, my bad. In. Then you get yes. Is everyone okay if I extend the lecture for another 10 minutes? I need to take the if, else, and else if operators. I'm happy to take, If you have other engagements, please do let me know. I'll do one thing. I'll definitely extend. I'm trying to, if you have, if you want me to stop the lecture, please raise your hand. Else we can continue as it is. Go ahead. All right, I'll do one thing. I'll continue the lecture for another 10 minutes. And then later on, I'll share this Jupyter notebook with you guys as well. So you can download and continue this exercise on yourself as well. I hope that's okay. Right. Now, if, else, if, the way it mentions in English language, if a condition is satisfied, proceed forward, else stop, or else do something else. If it is, for example, if it is raining today, carry an umbrella, else don't do anything, else pass. So the idea is, I'm going to give x equals hibernate. If Nate, the word NATE within hibernate, if it is present in X, yes, it is present in X, print yes, else print no. Or else I'll write PRESENT, present in X, else print no. The same way, multiple examples, if it is 1 is greater than 2, 1 is less than 2. Let's try something. So if and else is pretty straightforward. Let's try it with some loops. So for example, we have a sequence here, world and high, and we have the value of X. Okay. Let's have the value of X. This is better. This is X basically. And for basically, we also have my sequence. Sequence over here, this is basically a list, guys. Don't go on this word, always go on what is given. So this is my first sequence word, or this is my list, and this is my second list, basically SEQ and X. For LOTR or lottery number, or in sequence, print lottery number dot upper. Now, I have purposefully written this word LOTR over here. You know what this LOTR signifies? Absolutely nothing. This is basically I. So what I'm trying to tell you here is this. You must have seen this in different programming languages, or you may not. If you don't know programming language, that is also absolutely fine. For the first element in a list, our list over here is sequence, or for elements in a list. Now the first element, it'll do some condition, then second element, it'll do some condition. What I'm trying to tell you is, for I in sequence, when I mean I mean the way it is going to iterate is, let me type this and you will understand what I mean over here. Let me just do print I first. I'm going to comment this. For I in sequence, print I. Pretty straightforward, right? So the first element, second element, third element, fourth element in sequence, it has printed I. What I'm trying to tell you, this is very important because many people forget. This I can be anything, literally anything. It is just an object or a word. It can be called laptop. laptop. For laptop in sequence, print laptop, and I'll still get the same exact answer or output. So this is basically called good software engineering. What I'm trying to tell you over here is when you write codes, make sure you write readable codes. Don't use for I in X, for J, or usually what essentially people do is this for J in sequence, for X in sequence. So what we will do is we'll write good words. You can also write good words, or in some cases, what you should really write is for locations. For example, this can be a list of locations. This can be LOC, basically. For locations in LOC, print all the print the locations one by one. Or in this case, I want all the locations in uppercase. So dot UPPER, open and close brackets. This, by the way, works over here as well. You don't need to use a loop statement. What I mean to say is you can write LOC dot upper. Okay, did I miss something? List attribute is okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, I should have used. You can use it one element at a time. Okay, I'm sorry. I should have mentioned that. Upper. So I'll tell you again. You have upper. You have lower. You also have camel case. Basically, upper string, lower string, camel case. You have all of this, but this works only one string at a time. Basically, what I mean to say is, where is the value of X? If X equals IIT, no, sorry, I should have given as a string. And now if I type X dot upper, open and close bracket, IIT. And the same thing if I type lower, okay, I'll give the full name, analytics club, lower dot and analytics club. Or if you sometimes forget this is basically called string manipulation. Hit the tab button. You have capitalize, case fold, center, format, find. I mean, there are so many things. Upper, let me show you, upper, lower, camel case, split, strip. There are many things we can go them one at a time. There is also something with ends with, X dot ends with. For example, I can give the value over here. Okay, I need to give an argument. Ends with CLUB, right? LUB. True. Get it? LUB? Yes, that is true. That is a true value. For example, in over here, let me come to this example. Print locations dot ends with Powai, right? WAI. Okay, invalid locations. I think I cannot give the correct example. Invalid string syntax for I. Okay, again, I should have mentioned this here. What did I do? I think I did something. Then give the open and close brackets. Locations.upper and ends with WAI. There. I forgot to give the open and close parenthesis. This one. Does this make sense, guys? these are our locations: Mumbai, Pune, Delhi, Powai. So what I've done over here is I'm just going to bring this down for ease convenience. So for locations, or I can also, to make you understand, for items in location, items ends with WAI. So Mumbai, Pune, Delhi, Powai. What I've given is WAI, not just AI. If I give just AI, then Mumbai should also be true, the first one. So you have true, false, false, and true. I hope, I think I'll do one thing. For the rest, there is while loop and there is range as well. And there is something called as list comprehension. We'll start with list comprehension tomorrow. Hopefully we will have a much longer time than today, because everything would be set and ready, because we have learned from today's class. I hope this class was quite important and interesting. It's already 7:33, so I'll do one thing. I'll close the session here for today. We'll try again. I'll log in tomorrow at same time at 5:45, and we will try to have a bit longer session than 7 o'clock, maybe till 7:10 or 7:15, and we'll try to cover each and everything as mentioned. List comprehension is something which I really don't want multiple people to miss. We have a good number of people on the batch today, but absolutely, I want everyone to have over here as well. So I think perhaps that is all for today. And if anyone has raised their hands, Thomas, Biju, is there any questions, or shall we close for the day? I think we should. I'm sorry, are you guys mentioning that I can continue? I'll do one thing. We have a less number of people today, and list comprehension is quite very important. I mean, the way you write loops, the whole loop in 2 or 3 lines. In list comprehension, you can write the whole loop in a single line, and I don't want people to miss out on this one. And it can get very, very confusing, but this is the way very, very good software engineering works. So let's all meet up tomorrow, probably 5 minutes earlier, say at 5:55, so we can continue the session by 7:10 or 7:15. Does that sound good to everyone? I hope you really enjoyed today's session, and you will give us the opportunity to not have further goof ups again in the next batch or the next session. So I do look forward to each and every one of you. All right. Can we sign off for today? All right. Okay. See you tomorrow, guys. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for the wonderful session. Any doubts? I can answer some doubts over here. All right. Okay. Then let's all meet back tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, everyone.